Coffee Chat. Jaws Coffee Chat will be basically a short name of Jennifer A. Whitaker Coffee Chat, where we'll be interviewing various people and guests. Um, we will basically make it like a TV series where it's the same people present, but various series building upon each other, or as we call them, episodes and podcasts. So now we have our guest, Mr. Fernando at Daily Free. What would you tell us, Mr. Fernando, who you're with and what's your
Yeah.
name?
Hi,
Yes.
Fernando.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, Emily. Good to see you again. How's everyone doing today? It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
We definitely
Yes.
can. We can hear you and see you. Will you
Awesome.
tell our
Wonderful.
guest speaker? Would you tell our listeners who you are and who you represent?
Yes. So my name is Fernando Lopez, and I represent dailyfreedomschool.com, a school to help people find their freedom, whether it's mindset, whether it's relationships, whether it's financial freedom. We help people guide in the direction that they want to go in relationship to freedom in all three areas of life.
So does financial freedom come through college training? What is that?
Yes, yes, totally. If you relate, if college training will allow you to be financially free, then the answer is yes. So if the relationship, if the context that you have with college and the opportunities that you will have through college will guide you, lead you to do what others have done to achieve financial freedom, then the answer is yes. Some people
Okay.
go to college and they don't have financial freedom. Some people go to college and they do.
Well, and then there's the flip side. Some people don't go to college and they do, and some people don't go to college and they don't.
Right. And yes. And the only reason I'm talking about college because you asked the question about college.
Well, I was just curious if that was your tactic of financial freedom. So why don't you tell us more about what's the pursuits of financial freedom according to your program?
Sure. It would be to guide the person to find the resources inside first.
Like looking at their own income they already have.
Okay, so for instance, looking at the income they already have, the income they want to have, so they can start getting, for instance, when you go somewhere and you use your GPS or Google Maps, you need two pieces of data. You need where you are and where you want to go.
Right. So the goal is the first step. There's recognizing where you are, then there's the recognizing where you want to be. So you have
Yeah,
your recognition where you are, then you have where you want to be to create the path.
yeah, yes. And so, for instance, let's say someone wants to make $5,000 a month, and they are at half of that. They are $2,500 a month. Then the next question is, so they have two pieces of data there. Next question is, how long do you want to go from $2,500 a month to $5,000 a month?
So like the time frame to achieve their goal.
Yes, based on their current belief. So if someone has the current belief that will take 12 months to go from 2,500 to 5,000, then we'll work with that.
But what
If
if some of that's not realistic? Like let's say somebody is a plumber, so they're making that kind of money. They want to make the 5,000, which isn't realistic, at least where I live, for a plumber to be able to make that kind of money. Um, so, like where I'm located in Houston, Texas, in order to increase their income that much, they would have to go back to college or otherwise obtain some kind of training to become some other kind of professional. So let's say that was the example, and obtaining the 5,000 a month was becoming a teacher, which requires a bachelor's degree, versus they're a plumber that requires a certificate they could have got at any point in life through a 6 to 8 month certification program, and they say they want to get there with a year. Like certain things like that could be unrealistic. What would you do in those cases, and how would you help them?
I would help them within their quote unquote realistic feud. I don't know if my fingers can fit in the screen here. Realistic feud. So
Okay.
I can only work with what they believe can be achieved. So if they have self-imposed limitations,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever being realistic is, a way of being okay with the past, being realistic, because there's no progress with being realistic. All progress comes from not being realistic. All progress, it comes from I don't know how it's going to be, but I want to work as hard as I can to say make $5,000
Well,
as
to
a
not put a
plumber.
deadline isn't considered unrealistic. Like, I didn't know getting a master's degree would take me 8 years, but that's where I wanted to go. But I didn't set myself, I want to, in 12 months, have a master's degree when I was in high school. So how does not putting a timeline consider unrealistic versus you accept whatever is the requirement, and
Sure, sure.
that is a realistic thing.
Would you like to, can we role play? Like, do you have a
Okay, go
goal?
for it.
Okay, so do you have a goal, like a financial goal of yours, a personal goal that you like to achieve?
Personally, I'd like to grow my company that I have called Jen's Books and More, where I, as an author, sell my books and uh, promote them, and I do co-writing for other authors, or I do editing and so forth to help other people create their books in addition to writing my own books. So I'd like to grow the business.
Okay, and how will you know that the business is growing? What will you see? What will you hear?
I will see increased sales of the books, whether they're mine or the ones that I have helped my clients produce, and via the growth in sales, then obtaining the same uh, rate of expense, like no reinvesting, there would be a larger income, like talking about the net income, because I keep my expenses the same, but I increase my sales. Um, and let's say that was through promotion. Finish
Okay,
writing the books I'm working on, publish them, and then focus on promotion while on the side writing more books to keep moving forward.
okay. Then let's go in the GPS or Google Maps example. We need the two pieces of data: where I am and where I want to go. So, what are the
Okay.
two pieces of data right now for you for this conversation? And
So
yeah,
so let's say I have about $300 in expenses, and based on those expenses, my revenue is only, I mean, my net income is only give or take 200 or 300.
okay. And where would you like to have? What would you like to have in 12 months?
Let's say I wanted sales, like the revenue part, to be 2,500 a month, and the net income to be at least 1,000 a month.
Okay. So 12 months, 2,500 for revenue and net income, 1,000. And you're giving yourself 12 months for that, correct?
To achieve the goal.
Okay. So the goal, 1,000. Okay. Now, let's talk now about the beingness or the identity. What will take? What identity will what identity will naturally will naturally achieve $1,000 a month in net income that
You mean
you would not?
identity, like job, like kind of trade?
No. Who? What type of person have you been being in your business that you have been generating, say, $300 income per month?
I have been somebody with special needs and high limitations, yet a high creativity and pursuit of writing more books. So I'm very limited on how much time I can put in per week, but I've been regularly working on books. So I have ones that are being promoted. One book was just recently approved to be distributed to 40,000 online retailers,
Wow.
libraries, bookstores, other kind of stores, and other places that use books. And I am testing my waters with that method of publication, getting it out there. But
Yeah.
it started by an initial investment of $150 for my book to be placed on
Wow.
their featured book in all their email marketing, their front page book on their magazine that they give to all of their business clients, like different stores, retailers, all those people. Mine is going to be the featured on the front page of the magazine, the cover, and all these other methods. I'm testing out how wide can I grow it by not just distributing through them to those 40,000, but being on the front page of all of their marketing tactics or the featured product by paying that additional $150 one-time fee.
Okay. So let's back up for a little bit. When you are working on your business,
Mm-hmm.
what are the feelings that you have while working on the business? What are some of the feelings that you have when you're working and you are doing, what it's probably a lot. I'm not very familiar with your business, but could you tell me when you are maybe in front of a computer, whether it's you are writing or making contacts, networking, what are usually in the past have been the feelings that you have when you are working on the business?
Various aspects, whether it's the writing the book, it's typing up the rough draft just into my editor, it's interaction with Emily here and Kurt. I don't know if he's in the room. But these different things I do, because I'm a co-host of World of Ability, or Compassionate Citizen we're doing right now. I'm one of their co-hosts, so this is something I do every 3 Wednesdays. And to me, all these interactions, even if I'm at my local Bloomin' 90 general store that's right here in Brookshire, Texas, a suburb of Houston, she has me come once a month for autograph events. She sells my books as being some of her products at her general store. So whether I'm there having an autograph event, I'm on here, I'm at a Happy Neighborhood Project, wherever I am, I enjoy the interaction, whether it's clients, it's the public, it's recorded, or it's live.
Okay, and when you are signing autographs, what feelings are present at the moment you're signing the autographs?
The joy and excitement of meeting this whoever that's my fan that has somehow benefited from reading my book or sees a potential in that, and that's why they're right there buying the book at the same time as getting my autograph. But that recognition of that human, that person, and them, just meeting them, interacting with them, to say that these aren't just so many dollars in sales. These are Fernando and Emily. These are these two people I know that I can interact with, show appreciation, whether it's via social media or find out that they're another business owner, so I feature them on my podcast to hope to return the favor. As one supports the other kind of idea. So I come up with different ideas. That's how we can interact again. That's for personal interaction. This isn't just simply a focus on sales and reselling to them, but seeing them again, interacting with them again. It could be when my next release is out and they come to the autograph event again. It could be when I'm on my podcast and they click in and start asking questions on Facebook. So I say, hey, how about would you like to be the topic of my next episode?
Wonderful. Now, when you are having those interactions, you're meeting with people, who are you being? And you can answer that by starting the sentence with, I am being ... Who are you being?
I'm being the author and local business owner named Jennifer A. Whitaker.
Okay. Author, local business owner. What else are you being?
Social, interactive, joyful, happy, delighted.
Yeah. Yes. Now, Jennifer, author, local business owner, social, happy, delighted. I missed a few there.
Uh-huh.
Um, so when you being this virtue, these qualities, can you achieve your goal of $1,000 a month?
It will help. It won't fully achieve. I'll fully achieve it by getting these books added to more stores on their shelves. And that's why I went with the idea of that payment to be on the front page of the distributions option of books to add to these places different shelves as a product.
So it's something that you already done or something you will do?
I already paid for it. They're in process of starting it as of Monday.
Okay, awesome.
I paid for it on Friday.
Awesome. Congratulations. It's happening then.
It is.
Then for you, is it natural for you then for you to in 1 year go from $300 a month to $1,000 a month in that income?
So I don't have a calculator. Or actually, I do. Here's another one. So, oh, is this one even working? Okay, I don't have a working calculator. So here's some numbers. It only takes 48 copies of my books, with my royalty being $4.44 a copy, to get back my full 210 or 200 something dollars that was the cost of production. The graphic designer, editor, all those things to get it published and out there. Okay? And then the $150 for them to put it as a featured product. Oh, that's about 210 or something like that dollars. First 48 copies sold, I make a $3 profit and get back all of my investment. Anything beyond that, among the 40,000 stores, is
That's a lot
100%
of
profit.
stores.
It's
That's a
100%
lot of stores.
profit. Yeah, it's
Okay.
40,000. Some include Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million, Borders, and others that are national chains.
That
Those
sounds
are
to me more
included.
than $1,000 a month there.
Okay. But that 200 and something is my initial investment, and it only takes 48 copies, and everything else is profitability.
And you speaking of a 12-month increment or a 12 or 1 month increment for the $200 cost?
That's what it costed me from the start of this book till the point of publication to get between my writing, changing the document into the file type it needed for the publisher, then the editor editing it and paying her, the graphic designer to make a cover, me upload all that, and pay the one-time $49 fee for it to be distributed, to then upon the distributor approving to publish it, offer me that $150 fee to be the featured product. The full cycle that took me about from April until this past Friday. And the past Friday, it started the distribution process as a featured item.
Amazing.
So it's not even half a year. It's just so many months.
Yeah. I from what you've told me, I think 1,000. You're gonna surpass $1,000 very quickly then.
Okay, that's my business consulting background. I have a master's and bachelor's in accounting. I have business consulting, business advising background, so we cross in some paths. You see that?
That it's awesome. So if you were giving yourself, if you were giving yourself consulting, based on the things you've told me, what else would you tell yourself?
Of course, the first start with the first month and see what is the rate of return after they get it on the front page, which when it's distributed, give it 30 days for them to get it distributed and to these different stores. Give another 30 days, or maybe could even say 2 months, 1 month and 2 months, for it to show results of sales at the stores, because giving time for them to pick it, time for the shipment for it to arrive at the book, in about 2 to 3 weeks for it to sell at the store after it first arrives. And there, see if there's a return by checking your royalties report. And when you look at your royalties report, see, is it more than that 203 or something like that, that's give or take around 210, or is it higher? And if it's higher, you've already got your 100% investment return plus the remaining amount is 100% profitability.
Mm.
And then you can
And
reinvest part of that additional income to pay that about 210 cost to get another book out to multiply via multiple books being done that way.
yeah. And what would happen to the readers?
The read Wait a
The
minute, you're talking
readers.
about when they refinish a book?
Yeah, when they read your book, what is the transformation that happens in their lives?
Well, it depends upon which one. Okay, so this book we're talking about that I started the process with, it's called Dealing with Autism. They would be able to read part one so that the support system is everybody except for the autistic to be able to help that person that should read part two, which is the actual autistic person, overcome their autism working from both sides. There's the individual doing what they are supposed to, reading part two and what it says. There's a family and other support system around doing their part so that these other people can be like me with autism, but able to work, communicate, function effectively, not struggle with basic things such as showering and other common basic stuff that we struggle with it, and to be successful in spite of that while finding a gift in it, such as the way that a lot of us tend to be a lot better at some kind of art. We have a more artistic talent, regardless of if we're left or right brain. There's something about autism that causes somebody to be very artistic. I can't hear you, Mr. Fernando.
You're right now. But I would like to, while I'm talking here, bring in. We have a couple other guests that showed up. They've been here, Morris and Marianne. Morris,
I see Miss
um,
Marianne. I cannot see Morris.
Morris is um,
Yeah, I only see Marianne.
Morris is on here. He just doesn't have his video on.
Oh,
But
okay.
um,
So, Mr. Fernando, how about we switch it? Why don't you try introduce yourself to Marianne and try asking her. She's another author. Give her your spill.
Sure. Hi, Marianne. How are you?
Aloha.
Aloha to
Hola.
you. Thank you. I'm wearing the local shirt today. Are you in Waikiki?
No, I'm actually in Cabo San Lucas,
Okay. Wonderful.
Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the
Muy
update? Are
bien.
you on vacation, Marianne, or are you like traveling at your home without being like a set location?
Well, in Christmas, I joined my neighbor from the Hawaii Yacht Club, and I sailed 2 months to Cabo San Lucas. And I'm remotely working in a penthouse.
Tú no
Can you
telefones.
hear?
I hear you, but Fernando, would you please mute while whatever's
Yeah.
going on, and then please go ahead, Miss Marianne. I'm sorry about the interruption.
So I sailed 2 months to Cabo San Lucas, and I'm staying in a penthouse here. And I am currently working on the Acts of Kindness series. My books are written for animation movies with sign language characters, which is 200 folk Manus puppets, with soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. My co-writer Suzanne Sims is on the other side of Mexico. And we're also helping Leon McLaughlin with Clean Water Foundation, bringing filters to worldwide schools and churches, and he happens to be doing a fundraiser tonight out of Washington's Kirkland, Washington. And then I'm leaving next month to join my captain again to sail the Sea of Cortez, and I will probably be relocating to Miami as I become senior living. So it's business and travel and adventure and production. So this past month, I've been working with Trevor Gibbs out of HNP Orlando. He
Mm-hmm.
helped me update a business plan, business expense report that I created in 2015 when I had these ideas of the books and the animation movie and the soundtracks and some travel book signings, etc. And we got all my expenses because through the pandemic we were locked down in Hawaii, no travel, so to speak. And I used that stimulus money to create the Apple and Android app games for each of the chapters as online courses with the sign language characters. So I spent about $15,000 doing that, and Dr. Liddy out of Orlando, Miami, federally trademarked me. So I used that money, and that was another $5,000. So it feels great to have that relief off of me and to see the thought from action in the business plan. And I've been speaking with Kurt Roscoff in regards to his $35 million grant that could fund these books to bring them to animation movies, to bring it to the world, because we have a 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service now who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So these are educational tools. The first book is called Underwater Acts of Kindness. It was originally written for the Animal Planet TV show Tank Guys in Las Vegas for them to bring it into animation movies. And I feature characters with a hearing loss or signing characters so that we all can be of service. And the first book is about Noah, the hard of hearing whale. He loses his hearing in a boating accident and is recruited by a sea turtle to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So we're taking a global topic that's happening and how we can all be of service. And
Speaking
again, the
of this
soundtrack.
global, speaking of this global, did I hear you last time I saw you? I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago that you said it hit CNN, Fox News, and a lot of those others. Your book or something like that.
My what?
It was your book or something that hit CNN, Fox News, and all these other big news channels.
Not that I'm aware of, but well, we'll go with it. We're manifesting it. I'm remotely in Mexico, so I get limited internet here, and anyway, but yeah, that would be the intention. But and then the second book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, for our anti-bullying message, which introduces 20 more characters featuring Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, for Harry, the hard of hearing rabbit, and a glove puppet named Eve, the finger spelling bee. And again, you can meet all these signing characters now on the Acts of Kindness series website that Brian Roosh created, who I met through HNP, Happy Neighborhood Projects, where I have been the sign language interpreter on Ability in Hawaii for the last year, again, during this lockdown and pandemic, and using that stimulus money to fund this project. So I'm in Mexico creating the climate change book. And
Yes, we need that. Way to go, Marianne.
yes, and it's more characters. So and I've created 10 app games while sailing. So I need that additional funding from Kurt Roscoff and his Sunflower Grant. So that I can continue to create the online courses. So the good news is after my first sailing book signing tour in 2017, I sailed Southwest Florida to Virginia, 91 days, 1,700 nautical miles, and got to sail through the ICW to the naval base. And again, we talk about hearing loss. I have a degree in audiology and communication disorders, and we have millions of moms and dads coming home from service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So if our kids are getting these books in their classrooms, no matter what, regular classrooms, special education, autistic, anything, it's still a message, and sign language is a solution for social spatial distancing, especially now for schools. So that's what I've been working on, and it's when it's all coming to me, and I'm hiring my fiber guys. We're doing the outline of the chapter of a book. It takes a lot of time and thought, and just asking spirit through meditation, how am I gonna create these characters? How am I gonna make it as a really good reading level, and what are they going to do to be of service? So I pick up on a lot of things. I've been getting a lot of great ideas. Suzanne's on the other side, and the soundtrack is called Alive by Lucy and the Perfect Wave, where Nick's guitar sounds like whales and dolphins. We have a leading song called Where Do We Hide? Where Do We Go? And it's just amazing. So I'm organizing it in my mind, and my mind, body, and spirit. I'm out here on the patio dancing with the song and the music to see how we can bring these in. And Natalia from Los Angeles is a theater teacher with 2,000 students. So we have a song and dance contest in the first book that anybody can create their own music temple and all that and post it on TikTok. And doing the same thing too. So it's great fun. So think of me as kind of like your next J.K. Rowling, Dora the Explorer. We want to retail like Hello Kitty because Walmart and Target already carry the puppets. Target does a lot with schools, teachers. So the good news is that all classroom teachers can get copies of my books. That's where I kind of left off there. So when I got back from my first sailing book signing tour, my girlfriend Marilyn Rogers, who just retired from Miley Charter School in Waianae, Hawaii, told me about Donors Choose. So we met at Starbucks. It took about 10 minutes, 15 minutes for her to fill out the form. And you need to have a teacher ID. And she posted how these books are for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, sign language. You get puppets with it to interact for your school. And she got funded in 2 weeks. And Amazon sent me a royalty check, I think it was 60 days later. And then I went out and the kids had the opportunity to read the books. She took pictures. I sent it to a hearing aid dealer that was in, where my deaf friend had to get his new hearing aids, et cetera. So we were sharing on the good news of what we're doing, talking about these characters with a hearing loss. And anyway, so I'm currently doing that now. We're at back to school. So my Fiverr designer, she just created a take action. I'll send it to you guys. It's a step by step, like I'm just telling you now. Step one is, go to Donors Choose, fill it out. Then go to my website, meet the signing characters. You can do this at your own time. So all ages of the heart, okay? Think of senior citizens home or just sitting there on the bus, going to school, going to work. You can do this anytime, 24/7. And then you can purchase the books on Amazon. You can listen to, I was able to get into audio studio with Pierre Grill in Manoa Valley in Hawaii. I got to record the first one, and that's where Lucy and the Perfect Wave performed and created their music there. Is you can all see it on the website, all this production. Okay, we're not Disney, but we're Happy Neighborhood Projects, and we got a lot of people who can help us out now to make this all happen. Again, we have 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss. So,
and I hear you saying that you're also making the neighborhood happier by helping them in these ways you're saying.
Yeah, and definitely. And I started Amazon t-shirt merchandise with the characters. So just think of like superheroes, okay? Who has done anything like this with persons with disabilities? And I see this going into Walmart and Target. I've talked with a buyer's manager in Walmart several years ago. I had 700 buyers got laid off, and they sent my stuff to corporate headquarters, so they know who I am. And Target, same thing too. So I just had to sit back with guidance from my intellectual property, Dr. Liddy, this past year, and said, don't be talking about anything because we need you federally trademarked. So no news is good news, but she says we are past that mark. And I've created the app games, and I have a few of the teachers' t-shirts up there with the characters such as Shaka, the sign language shark, Harry, the hard of hearing rabbit, Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken is going to be coming out, Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee. So you're going to want to get to know these characters on a one-on-one, and then we'll define them even more. So it's great fun, and I look forward to sharing this with the world. And thank you so much. And back to you. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. I'm the author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness book series. Aloha. And I am happy.
Okay, and did you say there was somebody else in the group, Emily?
Yeah.
Or is that us four?
Well, there is somebody, but I think they're kind of busy at the moment and multitasking. So I'm not sure if they'll be able to actually say anything at the moment.
Okay. So, Fernando, did you have any other questions based on what we were doing? And any that you want to ask Marianne?
Yes, I love what she's doing, her mission. Oh my gosh. It took me back to maybe close to 20 years ago, when I was in a party and I saw this group of people having so much fun, and they were in a circle, maybe 10 of them, and I got close to say hi, introduce myself, and then I realized they were all speaking sign language. They were not speaking it. They were all communicating sign language, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to learn that. And it's something that I haven't done yet. But now that Marianne just talked about it, I'm like, yeah, that's something that people learn languages all the time. I think sign
C.
language should be one of them.
A. I think this is
See,
B.
palm out, palm out, palm out, palm out.
B.
Turn it, yeah.
C.
See, palm out. Turn your
Right.
palm around
C. Oh,
to me
that
so I
that
can
way.
read it. C,
C.
D, D,
D.
D, E,
E.
F,
I don't know F.
F,
F.
G,
G.
H,
H. I.
I,
Oh, I.
J,
I like
Wait.
J.
J.
J's fun.
J.
J, K,
Wait.
K,
K.
L,
L.
M,
M.
N,
N.
O,
O.
P,
P.
Q,
Q. Q.
R,
R.
S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Fun.
So you
J
can
and
go to
Z are
Act,
the.
yeah, so you can go to actsofkindnessseries.com and you can meet the Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken, Eve the Finger Spelling Bumblebee, and Dr. Fingers the Finger Spelling Hermit Crab. They'll be teaching you that, so you can do that. And then you can actually go to Apple and you can test your skills with the games. They're all free. So you'll see the letters of the alphabet. So actually, what you're doing is what you were signing to me. It's called expressive. I'm receiving it. Now you're going to go test your skills at a different level because you know it. Now you got to go test your receptive skills and find those letters there and spell
Why
those
don't you
CC
translate
different.
some of this into sign language for those that can't hear? Because you're talking about who your audience is.
Well, I'm sitting here. I'm kind of relaxed right now, so
Oh,
I
okay.
just was joining the podcast, and yeah, I gotta watch my neck and back and everything. But thank you. The days I know I need to sign, then that's when I'm available. If not, it takes me several days to recover because I'm just I'm retiring. I'm 55. Some of this stuff is not as easy as it used to be, and I'm relaxing and I'm creating.
You're relaxing and you're breathing.
But
Well,
Yeah,
you're alive. That's what matters, right?
yeah, but it takes a lot of work. So just as anybody else. So but you learn the alphabet, so I encourage you to do that. And if you want to learn any more, there's all different types of people really in the sign language community that are instructors or teaching the ASL. So I'm just bringing the books to the world, giving you some tools, taking a global topic that's happening worldwide so everyone can be of service. And who knows, you may want a career in sign language after that. And we need to get them into the schools and starting young at a younger age. And it's an opportunity for theaters, plays, and again, I see them in animation movies, and no one else has done that with sign language characters. So,
Wonderful. Love it.
yeah,
Looking
Marianne,
forward to it.
Marianne, you look very relaxed there. Very comfy and
I
relaxed.
am. I am. I'm listening to my Reiki music, sound therapy. My ear kind of got a little bit of a can't hear out of it. So anyway, I'm regrouping. I'm grateful. So I got a fundraiser later tonight too to be on with Liam McLaughlin for Clean Water Foundation tonight in Seattle, Washington. So I'm keeping busy.
What's your .com again? Acts of
It's
Kindness
actsofkindnessseries.com.
series.
Fernando, are you going on Marianne's website?
Yeah.
When you get there, would you tell the audience what you're seeing?
Yeah. I can share my screen too if you like.
Is that possible, Emily?
It should be.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be great.
Sure. So let's see here. So make that separate.
Fernando, there's a lot of background noise behind you. Just so you know.
Yeah, that was an airplane. So let's share screen. Choose the window. Acts of kindness.
Morris.
Can you guys see my screen?
I don't.
I don't either.
Okay, let me try again. Share screen.
But while we are waiting for that, Morris. Oh,
yes, ma'am. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
I stopped sharing because I guess I didn't want to. Should I keep going? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. So let's try it again. So here's the website. What's the name of the chicken?
Her name is Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken.
Chelsea the Courageous.
She's actually the Folkmanis puppets. That's a Folkmanis puppet. You can purchase her. You can use them in the schools.
Oh, wonderful. So nice. Is this the captain you're speaking of?
No, that's Leon McLaughlin with Clean Water Foundation.
Okay.
Filters for Worldwide Schools. So he was in Honolulu, and I ran into him. And actually, he flew over and joined us in Honolulu for the HNP October meeting. And he put me on a radio show with, 3 million people. So he's out doing his good work, and we're putting it all on there. So I created 3 coloring books since I've been sailing, and I just love my Fiverr team. And
nice.
I'll be getting the proofs sent over to me now.
So if you created them, did you draw the pictures?
No, I didn't. What I did was how did it all work? I hired the Fiverr guy to make the video, and he knew the letters of the alphabet, so he took actually the puppet character and created their hand. The bee has a hand, the wings of the chicken, and got them to do the alphabet. So then I took screenshots of each of the alphabet letters, and I gave it to my Fiverr graphic designer, and she created the coloring book. She created coloring books. So we just did that. So there's just 26 letters.
So you basically outsourced it, but take the credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hire them. They're part of my team.
Right.
Yeah,
I was going to say a lot of people who are listening may not know that that's an option when it comes to at least being self-employed and getting stuff made, is that you can take credit while someone else does it on your behalf as long as you pay them and it's part of your agreement.
Right. And that's what Fiverr does. If you go on, there's all these different contractors, and you can hire them on. For example, I hired on the Apple game designer, so I tell them what I want, and then they send me an offer, and then they produce it, we review it, revisions, and then they, the Apple guy, we signed me up for a membership for Apple, so now I'm an Apple game developer, and he uploads it, and then Apple has to review it, and they accept it or reject it, and then it was for sale. And then after Edwin's birthday at HNP, I chose to take off the 99 cents so everybody can go out and play. And once we get them all together, we're gonna have a bundle price of for all the app games too. But we just want to get them out to everybody. And then the coloring flyers, she does the flyers, and she did the coloring books. She also did KDP, meaning that she helped me upload the covers of my books to Kindle direct publishing, which is just amazing because it takes a lot of work. And so she did all that for me, and she's just a beautiful lady. I mean, I never talked to her face to face. You don't talk to these people. They're over in India, but they're great communication skills and effective, and they produce the work. And I also hired a Indiegogo campaign writer. So again, everything that I talked about, they put that on there. I put an Indiegogo campaign last year for 20,000. I raised zero. That's okay, but at least I got it written and I got the expense report updated, and we're manifesting that Kurt Roscoff and this grant will give us those fundings to make this project happen. And so you can see that's a Polo, the Hawaiian polo pony. That's a game too, where you count the rainbows. So you're counting with numbers, with the sign language numbers. It's all different ones. You're just gonna have to go try them. And then that's Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. And those are the characters. There's Noah's Song. You can go play that. You can share that with schools or anybody on TikTok. And that's the climate change book there called Cool Acts of Kindness. And that's Greta Gobble on the golf course. So her app game is up. You can learn the numbers of the alphabet, counting the holes. That's the t-shirt line so far. Oh my God, doesn't that look amazing? See, I only have an iPhone over here, but thank you for sharing. And Brian Roos did all this. And then we have a slideshow of all the ancient. That's Dr. Liddy, my intellectual property attorney, Clean Water. These are, so you guys can send me your business cards via email, and Brian Roosh will upload it on the sponsors for the Acts of Kindness series here. And then we go in a little bit of a blog, and then the second page to it, you click on it, you can actually see the soundtrack of the Lucy and the Perfect Wave in studio. You'll see some pictures with Leon McLaughlin with the Hopi Desert tribes, some people in Peru, what we're doing, the vision. We have testimonies. Yeah, that's the Indiegogo campaign. The classroom testimonials from Marilyn Rogers, how easy it was for her to request the books from Donors Choose, how her students took those messages, starting having ocean cleanup with their family. And you got to realize too, these kids are bringing these books to home, talking the story, and they're reading whose family could be somewhat illiterate or learning some of these messages. So it's everybody wins, and it's great fun. And I've done shows at the military bases in Hawaii, where we put the puppets on the tables at lunch, and DJ Benny had music and would announce the characters, and we get up and dance, and the chickens shake the military families' hands for thank you for being of service, and everybody played. They were kind of picking up the puppets and put teasing them. Like the octopus was in somebody's ear or on top of somebody's head. I mean, it just brings out laughter and happiness and joy, because it gets everybody reacting, and it just puts smiles on their face. So everybody wins, and welcome, Kurt Roscoff. Thanks so much for having this amazing podcast. Back to you. Looking for some space for our new joiners. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. Again, it's the actsofkindnessseries.com. We're back to school time. All classroom teachers can get copies of my books from donorschoose.org and coloring books. So please visit the website, get your teacher. Teacher just takes 10 minutes. They just got to post their teacher ID. It's for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying. I'm in Mexico working on the climate change book, creating the app games, and aloha. And back to you, Kurt Roscoff. I'm Marianne of Waikiki, and I am happy.
And yes, can we first recognize Mr. Morris Williams that has been here for a while and didn't get to say anything? Mr. Morris, will you introduce yourself, who you are, what do you do?
Yes, my name is Morris Williams, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. The company I work for is MediClean Air Pros. We do residential air duct cleaning in our local area here of Atlanta, but we do commercial, industrial, medical, federal, and military throughout the entire Southeast. Also, right now, I am the co-host for the LGBTQ supportive business people with HMP on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Sorry about the shameless plug. But also on the 16th, I will be doing my first event, which is on Eventbrite. I've connected two other ladies I've met on HMP. One lives in Savannah, and another lady lives in South Carolina. The lady in South Carolina does solar, and the lady in South Carolina is trying to help push more the initiative of more solar in Savannah, Georgia. And so I brought those two together, and they wanted to work with me on this as well with my air duct cleaning and air duct sealing. So three of us are putting on a small event on the 16th to have raise awareness for the mayor's initiative to have more solar. I think I cannot remember the percentage, but they want to have a certain percentage of solar by 2030.
And asking you about this, so is this event something people can attend online, or is it in person in Savannah, Georgia?
It is online. It is online, and it is free. And it is on Eventbrite, and you can just look up Savannah and Solar and Chew on this. It's going to be fun. And this will be my first time doing a presentation this outside of HMP. So, yeah, I got to go by.
Okay, so speaking of the event, why would they want to join? What does your presentation offer to the listeners that may be interested in attending your event on Eventbrite?
Three things. One, really two things. One, to be informative and to educate everyone on solar and on indoor air quality and some other alternatives out there for them in their areas. And number two, I'll say it as who knows. They may have a business that may be able to get involved and help drive the initiative a little bit further. Right now, it's just three of us.
So in other words, you're looking for possibility of partnerships, but also that you're intending that these could be businesses that have stores or something that could put these solar or other environment-saving climate control in addition to people who could use it as a personal level, say for their house or apartment climate control.
Right. And as I said, when they come to the meeting, they'll be able to listen to it and see if it's something that they want to get involved in. Right after the event, we will create a second meeting, which we'll give everybody the link to in that meeting. And we will, once that meeting ends, because everybody's time is precious. So that way
Definitely.
they have to stay on. So once that was in, your commitment to that is done. If you then want to join over and have a little bit more in-depth, publicized discussion, then they can come on over there and join that one.
In the private rooms of, I guess, Zoom or something like that?
Exactly. And it would be myself, Lindsay, and Priscilla. This would be the three of us, and we'll just have the floor open. It's like this right here, an open forum where we all can see each other and just ask in-depth questions. Because what you may ask may answer a question for Kurt. Something that Marino asked may help out Emily. It's just something we may know, but just may never thought of saying. And it would be a nice presentation.
Okay.
I'll say this.
Would you like to tell listeners the date?
Yes, it's going to be Tuesday, August the 16th at 12 noon Eastern time.
Okay.
And again, I said it is a free event, and it's called Savannah and Solar Chew on This. And is listed on Eventbrite.
Okay.
Okay.
Karen.
Oh, go ahead.
Karen, you have anything you want to say? Quickly.
Well, just big thanks for Marianne. Is my microphone working? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so sounds good. So thanks, Marianne and Morris and Jennifer and Emily for co-hosting Compassionate Citizens. And I'm going to be on my way out because I am in HMP Nonprofit. I will see you later.
Thank you for having us, Kurt.
Thank you.
Kurt, will you email me the link to HNP Nonprofit? Email me, please, so I can join.
He might not have heard you, but I can email it to you.
Please, thank you.
I'm probably going to be
So
going once we're done here.
Okay.
Thank you, Emily. And
Well, yes.
I'm the HNP Ability Sign Language Interpreter on Thursdays. And please send me that link so I can join the nonprofit. Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay. All right. Jennifer, I want to thank everybody for Fernando and Marianne, Morris, Kurt, for coming on today. And Jennifer, do you have any last comments? Anything before?
So I wanted to announce that as of Wednesday, that being that today is right now, Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. So it actually happened on Wednesday, August 3rd of 2022, that Secret to Success, The Evolution of Public Education in the Workforce is now published. And you can find it by go on Google or your preferred search engine and look up books by Jennifer A. Whitaker. When you see my Amazon page, you will see that it shows 4 books now instead of just 3. And as y'all may have heard, when I was talking to one of our guests earlier, Dealing with Autism, Volume 1 is in process of being released to 40,000 online retailers, brick-and-mortar stores, and so forth, libraries, etc. It was approved, so soon enough, that one will be a lot easier to find wherever you prefer to get your books. And if you're interested in writing a book or us helping you write one, or you already wrote one, you want us to help publish, we also would like to talk to you for that reason. Or if you'd like to follow us on social media, the ones I gave earlier, so that you can hear about the next autograph event, or when I start what's going to be called JAWS, JAW''S Coffee Chat. That's going to be in September of 2022. I have a few co-hosts that are working on final decisions of how we're going to do it. So it's going to be in September when that starts. However, you will also get those announcements if you follow us on social media. And back to you, Emily.
And to thank everybody. Special thanks to Marcus Hart and Transforming Media, as well as the Disability Channel Impact for allowing us to be on their platform. Encourage everybody to check out our social media and like, share, comment, and so on. If anybody has any questions, they can contact either me or Kurt at either Emily Gallmer at iCloud.com or Kurt at the Disability Channel.us or 262-372-1754. So I guess until next time, stay healthy, stay happy.